Naguja kulun binja, birutan benda tiban, benda kidi, dari po benda kini morngang, Junub Sudan, benda latar, wajah mugok, kulit yang keluar, jero banda, aciran benda dan nyaman, naguja merga, benda welai, naguja kulun binja, birutan benda tiban. Benda kidi, dari po benda kini morngang, Junub Sudan. Benda latar, wajah mugok, kulit yang keluar, jero pandang. Junubin, bankire, pakawek, benda jal keliap, benda jalai, ya bendon, joget yang lebagela, joget jak tak cuy, bacin kengman, benda pakawek, benda jal keliap, benda jalai, ya bendon, joget yang lebagela, joget jak tak cuy, bacin kengman, bankire, pakawek, benda jal keliap, benda jalai, ya bendon, joget yang lebagela, joget jak tak cuy, bacin kengman. Naguja merka bandu welai naguja kulun dunja birutan benda jiban benda kidi dari po benda kini morngang Junub Sudan benda latar wajah mugok kulit yang keluar jero banda aciran benda dan nyaman naguja merka bandu welai naguja kulun dunja birutan benda jiban benda kidi dari po benda kini morngang Junub Sudan benda latar wajah mugok kulit yang keluar jero banda Junub Sudan dapat buru dalegi na yo kubiat panda karyak watung bakang ki yemuchi bengo ki pimbagere kulit yang benda tuya tu istet wakin kugam kutu wakan istet wakin kugam kukui wongebre na chukudukut wakin kugam yang ubu jalgam kecil bengki Junub Sudan dapat buru dalegi na yo kubiat panda karyak watung bakang ki yemuchi bengo ki pimbagere kulit yang benda tuya tu istet wakin kugam kutu wakan istet wakin kugam kukui wongebre na chukudukut wakin kugam yang ubu jalgam kecil bengking dapat aciran benda nyaman naguja merga bendu welai naguja kulun benda birutan benda tiban benda kidi dari po benda kini morngang Junub Sudan benda latar wajah mugok kulit yang keluar jero banda aciran benda dan nyaman naguja merga bendu welai naguja kulun benda birutan benda tiban benda kidi dari po benda kini morngang Junub Sudan benda latar wajah mugok kulit yang keluar jero banda Junubin bankire pakawek benda jal keliap benda jalai ya bendon joget yang lebagela joget jak tak cuy bacin kengman benda pakawek benda jal keliap benda jalai ya bendon joget yang lebagela joget jak tak cuy bacin kengman bankire pakawek benda jal keliap benda jalai ya bendon joget yang lebagela joget jak tak cuy bacin kengman naguja merka bendu welai naguja kulun benda birutan benda jiban benda kidi dari po benda kini morngang Junub Sudan benda latar wajah mugok kulit yang keluar jero banda aciran benda dan nyaman naguja merka bendu welai naguja kulun benda birutan benda jiban benda kidi dari po benda kini morngang Junub Sudan benda latar wajah mugok kulit yang keluar jero banda.
Okay, welcome everybody. When someone fails to pay their property taxes, the government actually creates certificates on that debt. You can buy that debt.
Let me leave that out. Okay. Welcome. I hope you guys can hear me. Those of you in Facebook and YouTube, and those of you in Clubhouse. Can you guys hear me? Beep. Everybody, when you young nam to go like JCE. Welcome everybody. Mimi, Kudwal, Male, and those of you watching now on YouTube, Facebook, welcome to the show, to Lakes Media Show. Today, our topic is about upcoming election, and also I have to talk a little bit about the whole out opposition. They had a Zoom conference or convention, whatever they call it. So I have a video, a voice clip to play. So now for that, before I did that, one of the Kenyan journalists, his name is Jeff. He interviewed President about a couple days or 3 days ago, and the interview is regarding about the upcoming election. And the election has been a lot of talk, particular those opposition supporters and opposition leaders. So they call unquote shame election. So they are not supporting upcoming election. But you guys, the question is, if South Sudan is ready for election upcoming December 2026, that is a big question that South Sudanese, whether in diaspora, back home, ask themselves that the election, whether the election will take place or not. But previous years, when the SPLM party come out and they said that, yeah, we are going for election. And then when the time comes, they say, oh, we extend the election for another 2 years. But this year, President sound like he's really serious about coming election. So when he interviewed by Kenyan journalists a few days ago in Juba, he said that he made himself very clear that we are going for election. This big government need to be reduced. We have like 650 MPs, five president need to be reduced. And he's ready for elect. He won't be elect. He's seeking elect to be in, hopefully he will stay in the office for another, I don't know how many terms South Sudan constitution have, probably 5 years. If that is a term limit, we don't know. So that will be determined by the next government that coming in, if the election will take place in December. So listen what he's saying when he was interviewed from President himself by listen to the news outlet.
And civil wars, and the 5 vice presidents they have at the moment, the revitalized peace agreements, and what that means then for the South Sudanese people ahead of the elections and the stability that they are crying for. Let's cross over to Juba with Jeff Koinange and President Salva Kiir.
Thanks so much, Ayub. Yes, you are indeed right. We are live in the South Sudanese capital, Juba. The presidency, to be precise, 11 days after the country celebrated 15 years since independence. Our guest tonight, a one-on-one exclusive with President Salva Kiir Mayardit, who has announced that he's running for election this coming December as the country goes to the polls. Mr. President, good to see you.
Happy to see you.
Thank you, sir.
After many years.
Many years, yes. And we'll talk about that because the last time I was here was 2019, 7 years.
Yeah.
A lot has changed in Juba. I'll come to that in a moment.
Okay.
First, Mr. President, your country goes to the polls in 5 months. Is South Sudan ready for that election?
South Sudan is ready for elections because the people would want to elect their leaders and then to get out of this transition. And the transition for the people think that it is not good with them. And so the election is good with them.
Mr. President, last time I was here, this country was on the brink of war. It was a terrible time. After that, peace agreement was signed, comprehensive peace agreement. It still exists to this day. It reminds me of Kenya during the post-election violence. You remember 2008. We had a president, vice president, prime minister, 2 deputy prime ministers. It was a big government. You have 5 vice presidents sitting at one table. How is that working for you?
It worked because we needed peace. And so we have to make compromises so that we reach where we are today.
Has it been tough?
It was, but we managed it.
What was the secret?
Will you want to be the vice president of the government of Kenya?
Me?
Okay. Then it is just, it doesn't come in.
But you managed, you succeeded. Because, the country is peaceful for the most part now.
Thank you.
Mr. President, last time we were here, country was on the brink of war. And things were really getting out of hand. But then peace prevailed, comprehensive peace agreement, which has 5 vice presidents sitting at the table. How is that working for you?
To be honest, sometimes I actually have no idea what's going on until I open Monday.com. And boom, everything's there. Status.
It worked. It worked, and this is why we reached to this date. Otherwise, it could have not, if we had to turn to another direction. This would have not worked.
How did you manage it? Because, like you said, it could have gone the other way. How did you manage it?
I really tried all the compromises. Although I told my predecessor, Omar al-Bashir, I told him in Khartoum when he was still in power that if you bring me so many vice presidents, where will I accommodate them? You know Juba, you were there, and then there are no houses that you have built for vice presidents. Number 2, vehicles for the vice presidents to run the country are not there. What he was telling me was that he will work with me so that he can increase the oil production. He will talk to the company so that they increase the production, so that there is no gap. I said, okay, if you are committed to that, I don't have any objection.
And then the guns went silent. What was the secret?
The people that wanted positions were given positions, others were promised.
Mr. President, when we landed the other day, we've seen a lot of changes in Juba in the last 7 years. Plenty of changes. Brand new airport. There are roads that have been built, lots of infrastructure, tall buildings coming up.
It was tough, but we were for it, and so we moved from step to step. One is that we did not accept fighting. We concentrate on maintaining ceasefire, and whatever we can do for the development, we did it.
And you're still doing it?
We are still doing it.
5 years from now, will there be a different Juba here?
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing is, a lot of people ask about the independence of the judiciary. Your thoughts?
Yes, it is independent. You have the executive, which is the presidency, and then followed by the parliament, and then followed by judiciary. These three are operating independently.
Mr. President, let's go back to the elections in December. Once the voting is done and the votes are counted, should your people, should South Sudanese expect any change in government?
There will be changes after the elections. So now you can see the 5 vice presidents. What will they do? Like in the parliament, we have 650 members. What will they do? Because this huge government prevented development. Mm-hmm. So they will have to be reduced so that there is a window of development.
Mr. President, with elections, again, barely 5 months away, what message do you have to your people, South Sudanese across this country, and the hundreds of thousands more living overseas? What do you tell them?
I've struggled with my weight my entire life. I tried exercising, eating the healthiest of foods, but then the addiction side of the food comes.
The first thing to tell them is that to thank them for their endurance. All this long transitional period should have triggered whatever disappointment. But I thank South Sudanese for their endurance. Number 2, they must go in for elections. Registration of voters will start very soon. So I want them to register in big numbers so that when they go for voting, they pick their leaders. This will not be dictated to them. Number 3, the peace agreement must be maintained. People must remain united and should not fragment into tribes, because we have 64 tribes. This will be the worst scenario if people go there. But if they maintain peace in the way they have been all these years, to remain united. If they remain united, we will have no problem.
Mr. President, good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
If you ever want to give that hat to me anytime, huh?
Okay. Thank you for guys. You know what? We always pray that God will keep President Salva Kiir for another 10 more years and more, because South Sudan is a country only President Salva Kiir will manage, because as you listen to what he's saying regarding about how the leaders want the power, they want positions. So if the tiny country like South Sudan have 650 MPs and by 5 presidents, so where will the development of the country will come from? Because all the money will go to these people, you know, and plus opposition outside. So his argument that the government have to be reduced regardless. This is the theme of this coming election. Even though you give the name regarding about this election as a sham election, because opposition don't want this election to take place, but President make it very clear that country has suffered enough. It is a time for this government to be reduced, and that makes sense. But most of people, whether I'm reading out some of the comments, and some of people listen to opposition supporters, whether in Clubhouse or on Facebook, YouTube, whatever media that outlet they are using, and how the way they speak, they talk. It is not these people, they don't have any good things for the South Sudan, you know. The election, it is the only outcome, only solution for the problem of South Sudan to be solved. Because some of people say that election cannot take place, we have to go for a political dialogue with opposition. For how long the opposition and government will sit down in one table and agree? They will never agree. Okay? So the people that who are suffering in the country are the civilians. Okay? And the leaders, whether the leader in opposition or in the government, they benefit. They don't care. Whether the election will take place or not, they don't care because they benefit from it. The money that coming from oil, they are going to their pocket. Okay. So if President Salva Kiir is really serious at this time that the election must take place in December. Okay. And that's what I always say, that President Salva Kiir, you are, the next chapter of your life is about this election. When you leave, before you leave the power, okay, before you leave the power, your legacy, your next chapter have to be written. That President Salva Kiir has went through a lot during the Haraka time, during South Sudan got independent, and then country got into another civil war. For the last 15 years, country is crumbling around. President Salva Kiir faced a lot of challenges, okay? But he managed, like the question that the journalist from Kenya, Jeff, has, he had that question about the trick that he managed South Sudan up to now. How can you manage this? This question alone is really, and he answered it. Because these people, they need position, they need power. And President Salva Kiir has been, for the last 7-8 years, that's what he did. Okay? He pleased these leaders. Because when somebody is removed from the power, guess what? He will jump to the bush, pick up AK-47, mobilize the user, say that, okay, Kiir must go. And when Kiir call, okay, come in, the government hear it, I will give it, okay, Kiir is good. Kiir must stay. Okay? This is enough. President is only way that you have been pleased these leaders for the last, 15 years since South Sudan got independent. 15 years. 2011 up to now. 15 years. Okay? And there's no any progress you have made with these leaders because they are looting resources. They want to be in power. But what they are doing, they are paying you to the people of South Sudan as a bad president. But you have to make up. The time has come that this is enough. They have looted resources for the last 15 years. It is a time for you to listen to the people of South Sudan, citizen, okay, grassroots that was suffering daily, no food, no any drinking water, no school, no clinic, no roads, okay? Because development in South Sudan cannot come when the power, 650 MPs and five president, they're taking all this money. So if president is serious about this election, you have to dig down your feet on the ground and do not listen, because there's a lot of pressure going on. Okay, the pressure from opposition within, outside, and international community. There's a lot of pressure going on because this election, they want to try in any way to stop this election. Okay, but if president give in at this time to let opposition succeed, to cancel the election upcoming, okay, then the country will not come out from all of this mess, okay? The country will continue with this civil war, the war fighting, they will continue. Because these people, they will always use and trick that so that the country will not go for election. Now, listen what they are talking about, the accusation. They talk about the election will not take place because there are people who are in the refugees camp. Okay, majority of you South Sudan who are watching me right now, whether you are in Facebook or YouTube, or you guys are listening to Clubhouse, many of us are refugees. We were in most of us who were in Kakuma before for 10 years. When the former president Umar Bashir conducted his election in Khartoum, while he fighting with SPLA, did John Garang or Salva Kiir Mayardit tell Umar Bashir at the time that Umar do not conduct election? We have refugees in Kakuma, we have refugees in Ethiopia, we have and everywhere. So all these refugees need to come back home first before you conduct election. If that sound, SPLA did that before, but this is the language the opposition are saying. They say that if you had them, why you don't want election to take place? Well, there are refugees who are staying. These refugees and the people who are in OP, they need to return back home before the election conducted. And also, we need to parliament all of these agreements. The opposition have every demand that they want. The government have to accept them before the election takes place. In which country is this? Only South Sudan, these people are demand. And President Salva Kiir give into it to extend the election every year. This is the third time if President Salva Kiir will go and then extend the election, not take place. I understand there are some challenges, but the country is stuck. We are stuck. The country is stuck. In order to move out from that, president need to break the ice by force this election. I know this is not going to be the perfect election, but the upcoming election will be a battle, okay? But this time, this is the time president need to clean up. All this opposition need to go. Now, the opposition, the whole other group who are not a part of us peace agreement are the one who are making loud noise now in social media, in international community. They are talking to international community here that, okay, please, they are the one who telling international community, please, we need this election not to take place. Okay. What benefit are you going to get it if election will not take place? You are giving a green light to President Salva Kiir to stay in power. Okay. They are talking about we don't need election, we don't need extension. Okay, what do you guys want? If you don't want election, if you don't want extension, what do you want? Okay. Government will never give in to give what you want. They will say no to your demand. And you have no power to defeat them. So why are you holding people of South Sudan hostage? Okay, even though you are not, one way or another, you are not going to win. Whether election will take place or not, you are not going to win. Salva Kiir will remain as a president. And all these 5 presidents will stay there. Those 650 will stay there. And then you're going to stay in exile. For how long? Okay. So support this election. Let the election take place. Whether it will be a bad election, let it go. So make sure that the size of them need to be reduced. That is my intake on that. But President Yajama, some of you have been saying that President in bad health. What President is going through, President has faced a lot of challenges, Yajama. You can see. Okay, within and outside. So if you can ask yourself this question, if Dr. Garang was still alive, and the way that the thing that President Salva Kiir are faced right now, what will Dr. Garang will do differently from Salva Kiir? Because these are the same people Dr. Garang was facing them during the Bush Araka time. They're the same leaders, right? These are the same leaders that President Salva Kiir is dealing with them up to date. So, Jama, South Sudan need to move from this recycling of peace, war, and let the election take place. Now we are not going to talk about the opposition that SPLIO. So SPLIO now is done, SPLIO has been divided. So there's no. So it's the time for the government to continue to move forward. And the SPLM party is a ruling party at this moment. You need to do something. You need to do what people of South Sudan want. Okay? Pleasing the leaders is not going to move the country forward. And President Salva Kiir has made it very clear that the election must take place. And this huge government needs to be reduced. Now, appointment of the leaders need to stop. The power have to be given back to the people. People can go to the poll, elect their own commissioner, governor, okay, MPs, okay, and the president need to reduce his power as well, not to appoint or fire. No, you need to give the power to the people. If this election will be the first election for South Sudan, right? So for the last 15 years in the independent. So if the election, I don't know who's going to run on that side, because there are 33 opposition that who are registered right now who are going to run. But whoever is going to run, if president elected again, who will be his running mate, whether James Waniga or any other person, yes, the next, after election take place, the country, the President Salva Kiir need to change the way that he's running his government. Because the current government is running right now, it's called Adigono, it suck. It is suck because it is. The country is not, is really is in the mess because the country, this current government is not delivering subsidies to the people. Okay, the corruption is really is skyrocketing in the country. Okay, and how is South Sudan going to move forward if the country is not hold those leaders who are looting the resources accountable for it? And I have seen, yeah, the way Riek Machar has been locked up in his house. That's one of the things that is good that I support the accountability in the kind of those leaders who committed a crime. They have to face charges. You cannot kill the people and then you go free. This recycling of violence will continue to go ahead. So President has made a decision. If President said that the election will take place and he hold his position the way that he hold his ground when a lot of people are demanding release of Dr. Riek Machar and Dr. Riek Machar still not be released, he have to hold his ground so that this election can go forward. Now let me move to another topic. The opposition, a whole lot of opposition last, I think it's a few days ago, they were on the Zoom conference. One of the persons sent me the audio, and these people, they were having a talk, okay? And these are the four leaders, okay? Thomas Chirilo, General Thomas Chirilo, he's the chairman of NAS, and General Bagana Mom is the chairman of Real SPLM. And Ambassador Emmanuel Ajawen is the chairman of NDM. And then Honorable Waldau, which is a spokesperson of SAF. And these people, these four leaders here, they are two members, Thomas Rilo and Ambassador Emmanuel Jawen are the member of SOMA. Pagana Mom and Waldau are a member of UPA. These are the whole our group. Okay, these four individuals are the whole our group. They are non-signature of RC's peace agreement that signed with 2018. These people, they didn't sign an RC's peace agreement. Okay, so now there is a competition with these people. Okay, these people here, they divided themselves. This is SOMA, this is UPA, and these UPA, they are allies. Each of them have their own party, okay? And then they form alliances as a SOMA or UPA. You see how our South Sudanese make life or political difficulties in the country? And these people are the ones who are outside, they are not in the country, okay? Listen to what they were saying. There is, I have the audio here to play, and this discussion were hosted by Professor Amir, and this discussion was moderated by General Lazaro Sumbeiywo, who's a former mediator of Tumaini in Kenya last year. So listen to them, their discussion, and And you can be, you can listen. Let me take this one off, and then you guys can listen.
Actually label this meeting as forum shopping, but for me, anything and whatever we discuss is for the benefit of the people of South Sudan. I know agreement which many people think it exists, the ARACs, and it doesn't exist for everybody. It exists for those who have signed, and of course for those who have benefited out of it. There are some noises. There is some background talk. Is that somebody wants to say something? They were me. No. Yeah. Continue, John. Okay. I'm glad that of three things that a professor wants to achieve. One is inclusivity. Without inclusivity, there is no reason to carry out any mediation and to carry out any talk about peace, because those who will be left out will be, in my very crude manner, they will be urinating inside. And those who are out inside will be trying to hold out everyone who is outside. So I am happy that the professor and the university wants to have a total inclusivity of all the parties. Number two is that I had asked the professor before accepting to moderate on this issue that we should know what is going to happen to those who are inside, because those who are inside believe those who are outside do not matter. I have heard this from a number of people who are inside. Number three, I want us to think genuinely of looking for peace and not looking for positions. Thirdly, let us open our hearts so that we can be helped to get a solution for the people of South Sudan. I have seen the people that have been.
Okay, let me pause that for a second. So what this person, I think, is one of the moderator, Samir, is talking about. He's talking about the people within opposition are inside the government and the opposition outside, which is these four opposition leaders are outside. Okay, and what this gentleman saying is telling them that this talk, round peace talk, let us see, because he already read our South Sudan in mind, because everybody's up to, they need position. They are not after peace, okay? And this is telling them, yeah, Jama, let us talk. This peace talk round, look into that we need yearly peace. Genuine peace, not about the position, okay? Not say that I need a position, okay? Let's see that we need peace. Because opposition, this opposition, whether in the outside of opposition or within opposition, they need position. They are not there for the people of South Sudan, because they are not. If you have them, what are you fighting for? What are you fighting right now? What are you fighting for? Are you fighting for the people of South Sudan? Okay, what is your agenda? Okay, they don't talk about it. What they talk about, oh, this and this. Okay, they always talk about, and this is what I disagree with this whole out group. They talk about the division, divided South Sudan. If the government is not doing what they demand to do, okay, the country will divide it. We are going for 3 regions, or we will divide into separate. Equatoria will go their way, Upper Nile will go that way, Barakazal will go that way. You see, they're divided. Are they there for the people of South Sudan? I say no. Because they're demanding what they need position. And this is what this the moderator is saying. Let us make this very clear. We need peace in South Sudan. We don't come here, say that you are looking for a position. Okay, if you are looking for a position, that means that there's no peace you are talking about. Okay, and that's what the moderator was saying to the whole out opposition.
Asked to participate, and they are not new to me. Ambassador Emmanuel Ajawin and the rest of the people are people I have been in discussion with, but not getting. Luandeng has been part of the Tumaini peace process. Bagana Mum has also been part of the Nairobi Hope. And Thomas Cirillo has been in Senegidio, and I've also met him in Rome. So maybe we can start, if there are no comments before that, we can start with Ambassador Ajawin. You have 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes. Ambassador Ajawin.
So that is Emmanuel. Emmanuel is the one who will speak right now.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You've asked the professor whether they can hear you too.
Yes. Thank you so much, Balozi Shikamo, Lieutenant General Sumbeiywo. It's my pleasure to see you again after quite some time. From the outset, let me take this opportunity to thank the Fordham University Department of History and Professor Amir for arranging this cordial discussion. And I hope that the discussion will be constructive as we are discussing pertinent issues that are pertinent to our heart and to our people back home. I also acknowledge the presence of Ambassador Deng Francis. It has been a long time, Ambassador. It's good to see you here with us participating. And greetings to my fellow panelists and also to the audience that are listening. I don't know, General, with us politicians, 7 minutes can only be actual introduction, leave alone discussing substantive issues of the magnitude that we have in front of us. But nevertheless, I will try my level best. Actually,
you summarize, Ambassador. You summarize, please.
No problem. We have 3 questions that were forwarded, I think, to us. I think question number 1, which says, what steps are needed to complete the transition successfully? I think this question is more relevant to the signatories of ARSIS. So question number 2 and 3, which talk about how can a common ground be built around a national own political process and the issue of neither where the election will be held or in case it's not being held and there's no extension, what is the way forward? I think these 2 questions can be dealt with in as a one question. So let me start from what is the way forward, because we know all the history of why ARSIS has reached the impasse. I think the country now is going through a very critical junction in its young history. The country is on the verge of disintegration if we, the people of South Sudan, are not careful. And therefore, it requires that the people in the country, the politicians, the civil society, the faith-based organizations, women and youth, to think outside the box and to think of the way forward. Now, we in Soma, we have been engaging with different actors, and our ideas have been very clear regarding the way forward. We feel that there's a need to have a conference, whatever you call it. We used to call it in Rome as the round table conference. But the essence of the call is that all of us as South Sudanese, we must meet and discuss the future of the country. And I always give an example that it's not the first time for such conference to be held. We had an example of the South Africa, CODESA, that was held in 1992, and the abbreviation CODESA is the Convention for the Democratic South Africa, that ushers into the new South Africa that we have today. So in the case of the country, the agreement now has reached an impasse. Elections are nowhere, given the short period that is left, and also given that critical elements of the agreement, like the unification of forces, the writing of the permanent constitution, has not been done. So holding an election within this time frame is not viable. So the only viable way is for us to get together and discuss. Now the question will be asked: what will we be discussing if we all get together as South Sudanese? And I say that the discussion should be representative and inclusive of all the political forces in the country and non-political forces. The issues that we feel are fundamental for the discussion will be the discussion of a new permanent constitution. This is important. Of course, you will need to discuss the issue of democratic transformation in the country. You'll need to discuss the establishment of a new security architecture in the country. You will have to discuss the issue of governance versus federalism and decentralization. You will also have to discuss the issue of economic recovery and assets recovery. You will have to discuss issues of returnee of refugees and rehabilitation. Inter alia, of course, this is not exhaustive, but these are the few elements that we could discuss in any forthcoming or envisaged conference or whatever name that we may come up with, so that we can discuss and save our country from imminent collapse and disintegration. On the last question, which is how may the conflict in Sudan and the broader region affect or alter South Sudan, I think the conflict in Sudan is sad, but nevertheless, this has been a result of the continued marginalization, perhaps of the free freeze. The conflict, of course, will have a direct and indirect impact on South Sudan. Remembering that the borders of Sudan and South Sudan is one of the largest in Africa, almost 2,000 kilometers. So you'll have an influx of people coming inside, and refugees also becoming an economically burden to the people of South Sudan, given the dire economic situation the country is. And the proliferation also of the arms and the firearms across the borders could create insecurity in the country. And I always believe that the future of the two Sudan need to be discussed and to be discussed by a democratic government in Sudan and in South Sudan, so that they could find a common ground of how to build two viable states coexisting together. That was envisaged in this APA.
Okay, let me stop there. This audio is about 50 minutes long. I already added it and posted it on YouTube. So you guys, if you want to listen to them, you will go to our YouTube channel and you will listen to it. It's 50 minutes long or 1 hour. So I'm not going to listen to it. It's too long. So, or if it's on Facebook, go to South Sudan Eagle Media page and you will get that. So I already edited the audio and then post it on Facebook and YouTube. You can go there and listen to them. Anyway, so this all-out group, okay, these are their campaign right now. Their campaign is to stop the election not to take place in December, okay, and now when you listen to them, so you will even go and listen to General Tommy Trello, the one that you always deny of peace talk. Now they accept that they want a peace to go to dialogue with the government. Meanwhile, when are they? Because this is how a delayed tactic of election don't take place. So now, you, whether you are a government supporter or opposition supporter, I know South Sudanese are divided. Special South Sudanese in diaspora, because if you go to Clubhouse and you listen to them, you will check your head and you will listen to these people. It will give you a heart attack if you are because the way they speak like maniac. Okay, even people who have a mental health, they will not speak the way they're supposed to in Clubhouse, the way they speak. I don't know. They are using the Clubhouse their way of killing their time or what, but they don't know that the word they are talking about are damaging the country, they are damaging the people of South Sudan. And this is what these leaders, opposition leaders, they are listening to them. Their followers. And this is my message that I always tell them, that, I have nothing against opposition, because the reason why I always criticize them is because they don't have agenda for the people of South Sudan. Because first thing this opposition need they need to fix their supporters. Because their supporters in diaspora, they have to talk to them. Because the way they talk, the same language that their supporters are talking. And this is not going to take us nowhere. This is not going to take South Sudan nowhere. Okay, this is tarnish the image of the country. Now listen what Emmanuel just said, and this is what their talking point about the division of the country. Integrate. We are integrate. If the government is not sign a peace agreement that we want, we are integrate. So how we are integrate? We are already, you are talking to the people that were in diaspora outside, South Sudan outside, they are not inside the country. Some of you watching Juba right now, are you guys listening to people in the ground that, we are need to divide it? So if the peace talk is not going to go, we are divided, we are going to, Barghazal will go in their way, Afanal will go their way, Equatorial will go in their way, and then after that divided, and then those regions will divide themselves. And then tribe, like we have 64 tribes in South Sudan, 47 tribes are in Equatoria. Okay, those 47 tribes in Equatoria, they will talk to themselves. Okay, we are not going to get along. Me, I'm from Nyangura. I'm not going to get along with with Taposa, so we are dividing. Or Acholi, or Kwakwa. So and then they will divide in pieces, right? So where is the vision of the country here? If you talk about the division of the country, the opposition, the work of opposition is you can talk the language that unifies the people, and then talk the language that how you can do different than President Salva Kiir government. Because there is a lot of talking. There is a long list of you can beat the President Salva Kiir government. They are not doing. They are not delivering services. You guys supposed to talk about that long list. You have a very good platform that you can convince the people of South Sudan how you can make different. You can make your case differently than President Salva Kiir government as well, ruling party. But guess what? You guys are not doing that. You are focused very much about dividing this Junubin. Okay, if you are very much focused by mobilizing one ethnic tribe, which is Nuer, to fight your senseless war. You are focused on mobilizing these young boy who are very small boy, their brain is not developed, called White Army, to go and fight your senseless war and put their life at risk. Okay. So opposition is always can do better than the government, because opposition, you have AI, you are the one who correct the government. You say, government, Salva, you are not doing this. I understand that the country don't have a democracy, that freedom of speech is not there. If you speak, you will be arrested. Okay, you'll be locked up. But you have to do your best to do this. You have a job to sell. Like yesterday, I don't know, is it 2 days ago or 2 days ago in Clubhouse? I will listen a little bit, but I'm so busy, I don't usually stay in Clubhouse that much. I come across and I will listen to Pagana Mom talking. You talk about 20,000 Nuer has been killed in Juba. You see? And this is the problem. If you speak about the scar that God has business, so how you still keep crashing that scar will not heal. Okay, if the leaders like come out and talk about 20,000 been killed, when you don't have accurate, so you pick up that from the clubhouse that people are doing propaganda. Okay, if 20,000 Nueras killed in Juba, what was the population of Juba at the time? Do the math. Okay, I'm not saying that there's no Nuera not killed. Yeah, there are crimes being committed, but we have to be realistic. We have to be honest. Okay, we are not going to do propaganda. Okay, so if we are doing propaganda, all of this, that's why the country is still in this stage where we are now. So we have to change. The opposition have a long way to go, whether you are opposition outside or opposition within. Okay, you have a long way to go, because you are not different than the current government. Okay, so you both are really have a long way to go, because I have seen you all are dwelling on the tribal politics. That's what you guys are preaching. Okay. So, and for you, what you want to do, there's something that you guys want to do. You have to talk with your supporters. If you guys want to change, you have to start with your own supporters, your followers. Your autonomous really need to talk with supporters to change their language, their tribal mindset. They need to change that. Your propaganda mom, same thing, need to talk with his followers. The same thing to Amir Emmanuel, and the same thing to Walda, which is his chairman is Paul Malongawan. So you guys need to talk to your followers, whether in diaspora or back home, because diaspora are the one who have a lot of negative energy toward the South Sudan. They don't have a good energy toward the country. Everything is bad, is really bad. When you listen to them, it sounds like these people will never go back to South Sudan. It sounds like these people don't have any of their relatives left. It is sad. And these leaders here, they are dancing with them. The same language they are preaching, they're the same talking point they are talking. So in order to change, to bring change, you have to work toward your followers. How many for the last 11, 15 years, the same talking point you guys are doing on social media, is there any change? No, there's no change. So change the way you talk talk to your followers to change the way they talk. Okay. Actually, those people who are using the social media to preach the hate speech, divided people, talk to them. Okay. That's how you can bring change in the country. But if you talk about the election, and there's nothing you cannot bring on the ground. The people in South Sudan who are living there they know what they are doing. Okay. The power, this current government, it will not be changed by you, opposition in the outside. It will be changed by the people within the country. If people of South Sudan felt that this country, this government is not doing good for them, they will the one who will rise up and change Salva Kiir government, not us. We in diaspora, we will not do nothing because we contribute negative division among our communities because we are more tribal than people back home, who are the one who making a phone call back home, send $50, $100, go and do this. Okay. So we are doing more damage than doing good for the country. So now the Salva Kiir is running for elect, which is you guys are against that. You guys would we don't want President Salva Kiir to be elected. So that's why you guys are going say that this election will not take place. But if you are against the election, okay, if you are against the election, okay, what change are you bringing to the country? You have no change you can bring. Because same recycling will do. If president leadership will go and next leadership will come, same recycling will do the same thing. So if you want a change to come to the country, make sure that talk about the language of unify the people, talk about, okay, we need if Salva Kiir and his government now say that we are going for election, okay. So okay, we support that election. Okay, how can you conduct the election? Okay. One way or another, you leaders in diaspora outside, whether the election will take place or whether the election will not take place, you are not going to go back home. Because the way that you guys are talking here, you will not bring any change in the country. Okay. So the change that we talk about, people in diaspora, they have a long way to go. We are divided. So every day people are talking about the politics in the country 24/7 in Clubhouse. People will sleep inside in Clubhouse, talk about South Sudan issues. Okay? Nothing else about the politics about South Sudan. They don't even talk about, okay, how can we do help people? Because this is July. And you guys know July in South Sudan, people will be hungry. They need food because this time of the year, people are disturbing to us because they need food. People need food. Okay. They are not talking about how we can help people there. Their own family. They are not talking about that. What they talk about all politics. So, and the government, one government at a time, we know that. And the government cannot be changing social media. So it's a time for all of you to stop all of this and support this election. This election, I think, is a way forward. The way forward, how? Downside the government, make sure that the next government can work toward to fix the constitution of the country, to make sure that the country have one president, one vice president, and one commander-in-chief, and also one unified forces, armed forces. And all of these commander-in-chief need need to go. There's no other country that can be ruled by so many commander-in-chief. And you guys think about the peace will come. There will be no peace in that country. And there are so many commander-in-chief in the country. So, Ajama, those are the things I know. I think this Sunday I will be having a show with this whole our group special. I will have Honorable Waldau will be with me in the studio with me this Sunday, and also Abraham Wali will be in here, and Rajam Mahandis will be in here. So I will have some of conversation with them. Until then, if my schedule is allowing me, maybe I will reach out to General Pagana Mom or Emmanuel Jawin to having a discussion. Other than that, those are the things. And also the government of South Sudan, you guys need to work on if you want to change, because you talk about the election. Okay, I have not seen any mood in the country. I haven't seen a street in Juba. People are talking about the election. So I don't know if this year election will take place for real, because the people on the ground are not feeling it. Okay, so and sometimes it's really, when I see the SPLM ruling party, they are not even supporting their own the media platform. They always, I never see the media outlet in South Sudan interview president. They always read out at foreigners. What is it? Why is it allowed the foreigners to interview the head of the state? Okay, and you have your own media in the country, whether independent media or your own SSPD TV is there. Why you guys always reach out to the foreigners media? This is where I see that this is how you guys, you are failing the country, because you value the foreigner than your own. It is sad. And how the country will progress if there is no any, if you don't have confidence within your own people. So if your head of the state can be interviewed by the foreigner journalists, and you have so many journalists in the country, and you don't even allow your own journalists to interview the head of the state. Even the country that I know is the United States here, like there is a press conference every day, daily in the White House. I never seen any press conference in J1 briefing. I never seen a briefing. And the country, any responsible government can have a briefing. Doesn't mean that the president can come and brief the people. No. There are people within the within J1 secretary. They can come and brief the nation. That's how the responsible government do. So if you are not allowed your own journalists to interview your own head of state, and you are favor foreigners over your own, that means that you are where is the progress here? So South Sudan has a long way to go, because this mentality of favor the foreigners more than your own people is not going to work. Okay. The journalists in the country are the one who know, or I know you guys have prayed that they will come and ask President hard question, because they know the daily life where people are struggling. They will come and ask the president tough question. That's why you guys don't want South Sudanese journalists to interview the president. The office of president need to do better than this. You talk about the election, and you are not even allowed your own journalists to interview your own the head of the state. And this is supposed to be a season, election season. President should be interact with journalists or all the leaders. They have to interact with journalists. You have to do a campaign to convince the people of Sudan how they will go and elect President Salva Kiir. South Sudan. Anyway, Jamal, I think I had my time is 1 hour and 15 minutes. So thank you for you guys tuning in. So this is my, maybe I will have another show on Sunday to bring all my other guests, if I have said. Other than that, thank you for coming in. No, I'm not going to be staying that much. I have a busy schedule. I cannot be in media that much. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. And next time I will, I'm not going to be engaged so much in media. I will be doing only one show a week, maybe. So other than that, thank you, Ajama. Have a wonderful day and peace to you. And I'm not going to open a discussion. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm tired. So thank you. Take care, guys. And other than that, yeah, have a good night.